Well, we're not off to a good start, considering I just did a 10-minute review of my trading session, and I did the whole thing with the audio off. So, way to start. Video number 1. I am the world's okayest trader, and apparently the world's okayest video creator guy. Anyway, I didn't delete the drawings. I kept my markup on there. Because I don't want to do it again, to be honest. So basically, this video series is me going through my trading journey, trying to put a dollar amount that I picked up in my head to put in my account as sort of a goal. We'll share some updates as we get going, but we'll just start off with the first review. So I got in my desk about 8:30, 8:40, and started drawing my first channel up. Seeing that there's a first break here, I think initially I had it a little bit tighter, but widened it at this point. We get the break, get a new extreme, get another new high, market open around this time. Obviously, we are going to know there's a channel coming. So I had to draw that channel, looking for it to come down. I drawn the range about here the first time, just to see what would happen. And then we had a small little uptrend going on here. So we are expecting, a break. I attempted a new extreme, but this is the top of the range, so it's probably going to come back down, breaks out the bottom. At this point, if you were paying attention to the range, this could have been a good long, but I wasn't happy with this because these range bottoms weren't consistent. They weren't nearly as consistent as these top touches, so I wasn't going long at this point. And there wasn't any way for me and my style to enter any of this on the way up. Just nothing. Then we hit the new high, so at this point, we haven't broken, but we're starting to develop some space in the top of this channel, so we're probably going to roll over. We do a little bit, end up drawing the top of this range. Initially, I had the bottom at that level, but overall, I did widen it when I saw this turnaround. So it was there, brought it down to there. So at this point, I'm looking at a range to see how it forms. Need a couple more confirmations before I consider taking a trade. This bottom held nicely, so that's giving me the confidence that there's probably a long coming in somewhere. And at this point, we've got that third touch. We've got a higher low. So I took this long here. There was room to the midline, and then I had another contract. I had two at this point. My initial position was scalped out, and then I had the runner at the top of this range. So it scalped out. At this point, I'm still, this range midline is holding. But as long as this finishes without coming back to the bottom, I think we're still good. As long as it doesn't stop me out, because my stop was down there. And it didn't. This bar pushed down and then sort of Supermaned up. So I ended up adding on right here, and I was holding both to the top. I ended up moving both stops protective to below that double bottom right there. And I was out at 50.12. And at this point, a little sideways, thinking we were coming back down to the bottom of the range. We do. And without these bars printed, you can see what I've already drawn anyway. But again, this range, if you're confident that 1, 2, 3, 4 touches, you might bottom pick right there. Well, I'd call it a bottom pick just because it was, it was below the EMA. Just a lot of seesaw action on the way down. This isn't something for me, but there's some advanced traders that would definitely take that. And it heads up. This is a measured move that I had drawn. I saw it after. So we're looking for this channel up. So at this point, we're at an all-time high. Measured move. I'm looking for at least a decent correction to come back in here. And we get it. But again, not integral. But I guess you could take the theory behind this trade should be this one as well. We've got to an all-time high. We've reached a measured move. We should look for a lower high short, maybe to the top of this range. But by the time you get it, I guess there was enough. There was 2 points in there. It would have been better if it was below the EMA. Very aggressive wouldn't be me. A lot of sideways barbed wire action. Again, another new high. And because this one worked out, I was thinking this might work out. This was way too aggressive for me. Just way too aggressive. EMA was holding. We did have one leg down. We were certainly looking for another one. It did push below twice, but this could have been a micro double bottom. Yeah, I don't think this is a good trade in my mind. I still took it short for 10 ticks, but still, I shouldn't have entered that one. If it had closed below the AMA, I would have said yes. But that's a doji bar. Like, that could have gone either way. 100% I got lucky there. And then at this point, we're bouncing around. Like, it's late in the day for me. I don't trade well late in the day generally. It's got to be sort of textbook for me to want to take it. Shouldn't say that. I want to take a lot of trades in the afternoon. I'm not really that good at it, so I'm kind of like jonesing for a trade, but I'm trying not to over trade. I didn't really draw much after this, just because it was kind of sideways. It was kind of slow. We got into 4 o'clock. Like, just this whole time frame was just a mess, and given the fact that I took this bad trade, according to my rules, this was bad. I shouldn't have entered it. I was just trying to be careful not to do anything more stupid and feel overconfident considering a bad trade worked, which I don't want to reinforce that habit. So yeah, there was my trade review. I'll try to capture it live starting tomorrow so we can see this a little bit more real time. So there's not as much hindsight bias in the reviews. Cheers.